Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 46 of the Unknown Comics Podcast. I'm Tanner.
I'm Chris. It's just us.
It's just us.
There's no Brandon. There's no Darren. We're 5 minutes early. Brandon's going to have to get over it.
This is what happens.
Happy to be on Twitch right now. So if you're not watching on Twitch live with us, make sure you join us every Thursday. Mm-hmm. We're a little early this week, but we're still going to be on at 7. So either way, you're still going to get to see us.
This is like VIP access right now.
Yeah, we're just here. Thought we might as well go ahead and get it started. We didn't have anything else better to do. So this week, we said we were going to talk about Disney Plus a lot, but Disney Plus Day overall was really kind of disappointing. They didn't really do like a big presentation. We didn't get anything we really wanted as far as trailers go. We thought we were going to see for sure an Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer.
We got some title lettering for some stuff.
We didn't get anything on Andor. We didn't. I think they showed a little bit more of like Boba Fett.
I see. I didn't
Nothing
even see
on
that.
Mando. So overall, Star Wars wise, I mean, we're all like.
I was so mad at the
sad.
Kenobi thing.
Yeah.
I wanted a trailer.
Yeah, and I don't know if maybe they're just waiting to do that after Book of Boba Fett, or they're not going to feed into each other in any way unless they somehow do. But I don't think it's going to.
I don't think it would.
I mean, they're two different parts of the timeline, so it wouldn't make any sense. So I don't know. Maybe
because I mean, in theory, Boba Fett's probably a teenager when Kenobi's going on.
Yeah, I mean he could, but it wouldn't be the same actor, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Whoever they brought in to do it, it would be, a lot different version of that character. So,
yeah.
And it would probably always have to keep him masked because you'd want him to look just like him.
Right. I mean,
they could use the guy that actually played the voice acting and the kid for Boba, because he doesn't. I mean, he's not too. He would still work.
I think that would be a stretch to the plot because Obi-Wan and Boba have really never had any
crossover there.
I mean,
yeah, maybe see him.
They fought. Obi-Wan fought Jango, but he didn't kill Jango, so there's really not any beef there.
Now, there still is. I mean, if you go through and watch all the cartoons, Boba does not. Boba hates Obi. He hates Mace Windu more, but he still doesn't like Obi-Wan even in the shows, the cartoons and stuff. So you do see some of that here and there. So when he's younger, and then I think in Rebels they kind of showed some of that too.
See, I haven't watched Rebels.
Yeah, in Rebels they do show quite a few confrontations between Boba and anybody with a lightsaber.
Well, I can see that.
You know what I mean? So, so the things we got for Marvel, of course, I'm not too big on the Disney stuff, so I didn't really watch too much of that stuff. So, but for Marvel, again, we just saw a lot of trade. Nothing really great. They gave us a good extended look at Hawkeye, which I thought was great.
That's cool, but it comes out next week.
Yeah, I was like, we didn't get any trailers for really anything else. They gave us a little bit of Moon Knight.
Yeah,
little taste, a little taste of She-Hulk. But we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which is supposed to be next year. Armor Wars, Ironheart, Secret Invasion, I Am Groot, which we already knew about all these things.
We knew about all that stuff,
We saw Ms. Marvel, a little bit more teaser for that. But the fact that that comes out first quarter next year and they still haven't given us like a full-blown trailer is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I didn't watch the teaser of that. I watched She-Hulk and Moon Knight.
Yeah, and they still haven't shown Ms. Marvel's any powers. What I understand is they're not going to make her like Mr. Fantastic. She's going to be more like a Green Lantern kind of power thing, where she has like energy source things that could stretch out, not so much her actual body.
That's weird. Just go with what her powers are.
I think it's because they don't want to get it confused with Mr. Fantastic when he actually comes out. Because literally the only reason they created her was to have a new Ms. Marvel and to have somebody replace kind of Reed Richards' power style in the MCU when they didn't want to do anything with Fantastic Four anymore.
Yeah.
So
they need to stop doing that.
Yeah, I know.
Stop bringing in characters to replace these other characters because somebody else owns the money-making rights to it.
Yeah, and now it's kind of
because now it's all convoluted and
it's kind of biting them in the butt now. Now it may just be that whatever they think, because they still haven't actually shown it in any trailer, so it may be that she still is going to have the stretchy and all that stuff. But I don't know. We'll see.
I wonder if they're going to go with to try and because Miss Marvel her powers have nothing to do with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
She's just an Inhuman.
Yeah.
And she liked Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel, so she took up the moniker.
They did show her that in the little thing. She's wearing a Captain Marvel uniform.
Right.
And so eventually I think she's going to somehow get into that, just kind of where she makes her own suit and everything like that.
And that's cool. I just hope they don't try and like rewrite her powers to fit in with those other characters as in the Marvel.
I would think we
group.
would see, because it's going to be setting up the Marvels movie. I would think we'll probably see Brie Larson or Monica Rambeau in the series at some point.
Yeah.
Since they're all three going to be in the movie.
I would for sure think we'd see Monica Rambeau because she probably needs to flesh out figuring out her powers as she's only had them for like an episode and a half of WandaVision.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see where she's going to go and what she's going to have. And it would be, I know they want to make it focus on her, but the other thing is she going to be an Inhuman?
Yeah.
Because they've kind of dropped Inhumans off the map. So if they have her as an Inhuman, she'll be literally bringing that whole slew of characters back into the MCU.
I would be okay with them like rewriting her to be a mutant instead of an Inhuman.
Yeah, and I could see that too, which would make sense for where they want to go forward, because they never called Quicksilver or Scarlet Witch Inhumans, and they're getting closer and closer to calling at least her a mutant of some kind.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see where they're going to go with that. So,
yeah.
Of course, we also see that in Hawkeye we're going to have Echo, maybe Daredevil. Of course, Hawkeye, we know that the Florence Pugh's White Widow, Black Widow, whatever you want to call her, is supposed to be in that. And then we should be seeing Kingpin, because he's even come out, the actor's come out and said this should be a lot of fun. So if that's the case, then he'll be the first of those Netflix characters we see in an MCU project.
Yeah.
For sure, which would be great, because I think that's really going to give a lot of fans what they really want.
I'm so excited for Hawkeye.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great. I'm next Wednesday, I might tell the kids, like, because we're going to Dallas for Thanksgiving, so I'll be like, okay, we're going to watch this, and then we can leave.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be thinking about it the whole time I'm driving if I don't get to watch it before we leave.
Yeah.
And then Secret Invasion, they showed off Nick Fury and his return back to the MCU, a little bit older, showing off his scar, not really caring about the patch. So we saw it the last time we really see the actual Nick Fury is him on a ship full of scrolls.
Right.
So we'll see him finally coming back into the MCU in some whatever shape, form, fashion that's going to be. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be with Captain Marvel or something.
Yeah. So did you notice, watching the She-Hulk trailer, how Bruce was still Nerd Hulk?
I did.
In one little glimpse.
But I also saw that his arm was also healed.
Right.
So I'm thinking that he, like we thought at the end of Shang-Chi, maybe he figured out if he's in human form, he heals. And then he can go back to being...
So I'm wondering if he's back to where he goes back and forth?
He still looks like Professor Hulk.
Right.
Maybe he can just... Maybe Hulk's not mad about letting him go into human form to heal. You know, maybe there's something there where they've kind of working together on it. So
yeah. Well, in Endgame, he said he'd figured out how to get the best of both worlds, and that's how you got Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
who knows?
I figured just kind of a side. We got our exclusives in today and all of our books for next week, and Hulk came in today, so I read it right away. Right.
I saw him. I haven't read it, but
So,
the cover's pretty.
We're not going to be having our comic talk next week, so I'm just going to say something about it right now. But Hulk is pretty good. If you haven't picked it up or plan on picking it up, make sure you go pick it up. Of course, Donny Cates is writing it. But I liked it. I didn't really, when we kept seeing this new suit, whatever this new suit is, we're like, what the crap is up with this suit?
Mm-hmm.
Hulk doesn't need a suit. After you read it, you understand why he has the suit, and you're not really sure what's all going on. I'm guessing something happens at the end of Immortal Hulk that kind of sets this up. But it's very interesting to kind of see where Donnie's going with this.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. I liked it a lot. Him and Ryan Otley did a good job with the first issue. So,
Cool.
other Disney stuff, of course, Ironheart, Armor Wars, we know about those. Moon Knight I am excited about. I think,
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to get Dark Knight in that. Some people are saying Blade. Maybe we'll see Ghost Rider. There's a possibility for a lot of good setup for some different characters in that one. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. So of course, the big thing that happened this week on Tuesday, we got us The Spider-Man trailer.
Yep.
Okay. You're the Spider-Man freak. Tell me.
I still think they're in it.
Yep.
I know Kevin Feige said not to, but my hopes are still way up there.
There's no way there's not somebody else in it. We just don't know who.
We all saw the lizard scene where he obviously gets punched by nothing.
Yeah, and you know that there's somebody else over there because Tom Holland's character his Spider-Man's jumping towards Sandman. You have Electro over here and the lizard right here. So there's at least two other people jumping. Whoever those people may be. Now, nobody's really talking about the version of Hobgoblin we saw. We don't know if this is Amazing Spider-Man's Hobgoblin, if this is Tobey Maguire's Hobgoblin, or if it's just a whole new Hobgoblin.
Well, yeah, we'll see
him in there.
And they could even not call him the Hobgoblin, too.
There's just a different goblin.
Just like in Spider-Man 3, when Harry took up the Goblin, he didn't call himself Hobgoblin. He was just another Green Goblin.
Yeah. We see the actual Green Goblin, Wayne Dafoe's version. We see a lot more of Otto Octavius's suit, which definitely got some cool upgrades. I like the fact when they're kind of laughing at his name, you know.
I was surprised to not see any Venom in it, since he's essentially confirmed by his own end credit scene.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's actually going to be in it, or if there's going to be some more credit scenes where they're kind of building that more up.
Maybe. I mean, there's 5 villains. We still need a 6th villain for the Sinister Six. Even though Venom was not a member of the Sinister Six, they could use him to fill that spot.
Well, Keaton said today for sure that Vulture is coming back. Now, I don't know what shape or form that is, because when we see him in the Morbius trailer, he's still detained. So I don't know if that's going to be in this movie or if that's a future movie with all these characters coming in.
I know Darren mentioned that maybe the edited out person was Venom.
Yeah.
But I don't. Why would you edit out a person that's already confirmed to be in the universe?
Well, not only that, but yes, Lizard got punched by one person. But again, there's 3 bad guys jumping at one guy in 3 different lanes. There's 2 guys that were edited out of that scene, at least.
We could just confirm by the editing. We can confirm 1.
At least 1, yeah. But it wouldn't make sense for them to have 3 and 1. But then one guy's not there. There's got to be a 3rd guy over here too. So,
So I saw a TikTok yesterday that was showing that scene, and it was like that moment when you realize the 3rd Spider-Man is John Cena.
Yeah, he's all. Yeah, I actually saw somebody edit him into a Spider-Man costume.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like thick-necked and everything.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
A lot of people think that we see that scene where MJ is falling.
Yeah.
A lot of people are thinking that it's Andrew Garfield that's going to save her.
Yeah, that could be.
Redeem himself.
Because I feel like when they show you that little cut scene, it looks like somebody else is there when she falls, and then he's jumping after her. But
you see a hand. You don't see a full Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you see 2 hands in the shot.
Of course, we see him in a magic suit of some sort,
which we've seen the magic suit for a while now in different promotional materials.
Yep. But it is black. It makes you wonder if there is a symbiote attached, or if it's just a black monkey suit. Who knows? So the what was it? Night Monkey? Is that what he was called? Right when he had the black suit.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it's Night Monkey. Yeah, that's what he calls him in the other Spider-Man movie. So we see Strange and Spider-Man or Peter have different thoughts on what to do with the bad guys.
I still think Strange acts very erratic in the scenes we see him in.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll make more sense once we get into it, but he's just trying to make everything right because that's his job.
Right.
And Peter doesn't want to send these guys off to die.
Right, because
they all die on some form of his hands.
Right, and Peter is the good. Yeah. You know, he doesn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do any of that. So, but then there's also a little bit of a scene where you see Otto actually fighting one of the other guys. So we may actually see that Octavius is helping him in some way because Otto in the original series was good too. He just got corrupted by the arms. He wasn't a bad guy. So, which I think is why everybody loved his character so much.
Well, and he's kind of that same level as Doom. He's smart enough to know what side to play on in the long run.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what the whole plot's going to thicken out. I mean, obviously you can tell from what they showed us in the trailer that Peter is trying to help the bad guys to live.
So,
then he's fighting the bad guys. So
theory. this is way out there. It's probably not true, but you know how Tom Holland, they've all said that this is definitely the end of an era, and if we see any additional Spider-Man, it would be a much different tone.
Or a different Spider-Man.
Yeah. What if Tom Holland and Doc Ock switch brains and we get a superior Spider-Man in the MCU?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that, but at the same time,
that would be a much different tone for Spider-Man.
You would still have Tom Holland as Spider-Man, which is what a lot of people are freaking out about, or at least him. Like he's even come out and said, and again, this may be a lot of just jargon to get us off track of what's going to happen after this movie, because I still think it's only a part 1. I think Doctor Strange is part 2.
Yeah. Well, I think Tom Holland's in Doctor Strange, isn't he?
I don't know. No, all I know is Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch are in that movie. That's all I know. They've been extremely tight-lipped about that one, but I still think it's like part 2.
Oh, I do too. I mean, it's all a part of this arc that was started in Loki.
Yep. Well, Scarlet Witch really.
Well,
at the end when you see the end credits where
if you're watching in release order, but if you're watching them in the order they happen, it's Loki.
Yeah, because Loki would have been back in 2012 or
well, the way the multiverse thing happens, the only people that could observe it are Loki, Sylvie, and He Who Remains.
Yeah. So
to everyone not in that citadel, the multiverse both exists and doesn't exist at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a Schrodinger's timeline.
Yeah. So yeah.
Physics.
But I still think that it'd be cool if they can do. DC's already doing it. They've got multiple Batman arcs going on right now.
They're gonna turn their movies into comics. It's just gonna be all Batman.
We can handle it. You know what I mean? We can handle multiple Spider-Man stories if they want to do that. We can handle it as viewers. We can understand it. I think Henry Cavill said it really good the other day. He's like, when they asked him about Michael B. Jordan's Superman project right now, and he's like, I love it. Like, Superman is not about being a certain color or a certain person. It's about the kind of guy that he is.
I didn't know that was actually happening. I saw that.
Yeah, he's been working on it for quite a while, and they just brought a writer on. So now it's like getting to that next step.
Okay, I saw an image, but I thought it was fan art.
Well, it is fan art.
Okay.
And a lot of people aren't really sure if he's going to be doing, just completely redoing Superman and becoming Clark Kent, or if he's going to be the version that was created by, what is his name? Grant Morrison, I think, created him. And earlier when Barack Obama was president, the Superman was created. It was supposed to be he was actually supposed to be Barack Obama in a way, because this version of Superman is the president of the U.S.
Oh, okay.
The first African American Superman is the president of the U.S. at the same time. So, but I think he's supposed to be doing that version, is what I understand. So, but he's still Kal-El. He has the same Kryptonian name, from what I understand, but his
Earth life,
his Earth different. Name is different. So, but yeah, so
it's like it's not Earth 2, but it's a different Earth.
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole thing of its own kind of a deal. So, but that's in the process of being made, and I'm still not sure if it's going to go with that version or if he's just going to completely maybe. And a lot of people are saying it may end up being inside of the Reeves Batman universe.
Okay.
So, but we'll see, since they already have Henry Cavill's Superman in the Batfleck Batman universe.
Yeah.
So, but pretty excited about Spider-Man. I mean, it looks good. I'm still trying to keep myself in check. I know that, like, as soon as Brandon saw it, he was like, and my expectations are so high, it's not even funny.
Yeah, mine were so high since ever. Yeah. So
it's just for me, I'm just trying to remember, like, the last time we had a third Spider-Man movie, it wasn't that good. So, so
I can't help. Anytime Spider-Man is involved, I can't help it.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when Spider-Man 3 came out, I still liked it because it was cool to see some of those characters on screen. I didn't like the way they did Harry's character in the third movie. It kind of got annoying, kind of watching him whine and cry about everything.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, it was fine. But I'm excited where it's going to go. I hope that Tom Holland stays Spider-Man. I
I
hope
will
they
say-
find a way to bring Miles Morales in, and find a way to make it to where we get more Spider-Man movies.
I will say I'm very excited for Spider-Man freshman year.
Yes. And that's my other thing too, right? Like that tells me right there that Marvel and Sony are done. They're going to keep working on a way to figure this out. I mean, we kind of felt that way when they showed Venom being part of the MCU. And then, Morbius has kind of been showing us that for years with the trailers by showing us Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the background. And then at the end of that very first trailer, they showed him talking to Vulture.
That's the biggest key that makes me say that the other guys are in it. Because
why would you show that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, and I'm sure Marvel let Sony cut that trailer, and then that got shown off, and then Marvel was probably calling Sony, "You stupid."
Now we got to call these guys and get them in for a movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, just because they showed that, that lizard one getting hit in the face, and
I do hope that if we don't get them in this movie, in some sort of interdimensional crossover, that maybe they'll see that the fan hype was so high for it that now they have to do it, and they bring the other guys in for a Clone Saga.
Something. I think that, whether it be Secret Wars, where they bring in, that did a lot of in the comic books as far as bringing all these different types of people right to one universe. And, maybe you can only say that eventually in the end only maybe one Spider-Man lives,
and that's fine in the end, but it'd be so fun to see them all together.
And we know that there's different iterations of these characters now because of Loki, right?
Well,
Loki shows us there's different forms, different sexes. I mean, there's just...
Even before Loki happened in the comics, Spider-Man's one of these characters that's had multiple... Well, he's had multiple arcs where Peter's working with Peter to save Peter.
Somebody shared that scene from Ultimate Fallout 4, that little panel where Miles is like, "I just don't know how I can do it," and then, or how do you do it when somebody talks to you that, and then Peter looks at him and he goes, "I got blown off by Reed Richards one time so bad," or something like that. It's a very naughty thing to actually have said, but he doesn't realize it. I don't even know if the writers realized it, but I was like, "Wow, you got blown off by Reed Richards." Okay, that's all right.
All right.
It's pretty bad. Let's see if I can find it, actually.
So we started watching all the Spider-Man, starting with Tobey Maguire #1 last night.
Yep.
Just
to
getting
get
geared up. Yeah. Did you watch Workaholics?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. So they're big wrestling fans and Workaholics. And it's been so long since I've seen Spider-Man, and I was mostly painting while everyone else was watching. And it gets to the wrestling scene. And Amanda's like, that guy sounds like Adam in Workaholics. And then I look up and it's Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh.
And I'm like, no, they're impersonating him.
Let you read that.
That's bad. That's bad.
So I'll go ahead and say it here. So Miles says, "How can I?" And then Peter says, "Once upon a time, when I was your age, Reed Richards blew me off so hard I cried in my mask." And then a lot of the comments down underneath it are just like, "Oops, bad thing they said there." So it was just funny when I read it. Made me laugh, so I figured I might make somebody else laugh too. Well, I think that's
about it.
That's all we had to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
We're missing a couple of cast members today. So Thanksgiving's next week. So happy Thanksgiving to anybody watching.
We're probably going to be short a few streams next week.
Yep.
For sure, no podcast, probably no comic chat.
Yeah.
We do have a live sale tomorrow. If you're watching live, come hang out with me and Brandon, and we're going to be selling some Detective 1000s.
Yep. If you're not watching live right now or whatever, we do have our live sales every Monday and Friday.
Next Friday, for Black Friday, we've got some great deals on our website.
Yep.
And then for live sale, we're going to do a whole big Art Germ sale. So
yeah, be checking out. Be ready for that. Of course, we're going to have a big Black Friday weekend. We'll have some good stuff on store. If you're here locally in Amarillo, come in store. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff in store as well. And then that Black Friday sale online will probably last for sure, at least probably through Cyber Monday. So make sure you're here for that. It should be pretty cool. So
yeah. So thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Later.